Eric Braeden of The Young and the Restless commands attention whenever he opens his mouth. People tend to get angry at him because he doesn't hold back from saying what's on his mind. Therefore, it wasn't shocking when his remarks about Eva Longoria, ex-Isabella, on set generated a minor uproar. What's more unexpected is that a pair of ex-datamers have opted to rekindle the flames at this late stage, when things seem to be calming down. In case you forgot, everything started when Braeden was offended by something Longoria said in an interview with Chris Wallace. The actress said she wasn't making enough money on Young and Restless to justify quitting her other job after she laughed and cringed during a particularly heavy-handed scene. Soap star Braeden said that Longoria had made derogatory remarks about the profession. He continued, "You weren't good enough to survive the constraints of the medium," before telling her she was lucky to get on that housewife show, a reference to the Emmy-winning, long-running television series Desperate Housewives, on which she played the role of Gabrielle Solis from 2004 to 2012. It seemed like this was the only topic of conversation on soap Twitter for a day or two. Braeden made his case for the genre he plainly enjoys, and then he seemed ready to go on. "Not worth it," he informed one of his followers. "I hope she finds success with her upcoming CNN show on Mexican cuisine, and really deep and varied custom. Finalized, correct? Not exactly though. It's safe to assume that Eric Winter, ex-Rex, Days of Our Lives, and Rosalind Sanchez, ex-Peeler, As the World Turns, were not #Team Braeden, as they discussed the matter on their podcast," he said, "Ella Dio. What the hell are you doing to my girl? It won't happen." Before she and her husband of 8 years, Winter, began their retelling of the story, Sanchez remarked, "The best plan ever. The Young and the Restless, Sally and Adam, are a perfect match." Winter stated, "Nothing Eva said was wrong, but this grumpy actor, Eric Braeden, an older gentleman who's been around forever in the soap business, goes on a rampage. This guy went way too far." Winter continued by saying that Braeden doesn't know what Eva's financial stance was at that moment in her career. "I can assure you he was significantly wealthier than she was. The pay gap between men and women has been for a long time, but it was much worse when Longoria first went on the soap 20 years ago, and it was discussed in the dialogue. If you need a refresher, Longoria joined the show as Isabella, a manipulator who Christian LeBlanc's Michael brought to Genoa City to put pressure on Paul and Christine's relationship. Before she was committed to an asylum, Isabella would seduce Paul, have his child, and then attempt to murder Chris." Sanchez, visibly distraught, suggested that Braeden should apologize to Longoria, a mutual friend of hers and Winter's. "She implied that I was extremely out of line and what I said was completely uncalled for. And it was one thing for her to claim that he didn't appreciate as a soap opera actor what you said about how much money we make for a living because I make a fair livelihood," she continued. "Say what you mean." Sanchez closed the session with "Old Man Bye," which was ironic given that she had just talked about wanting to develop a podcast that enlightened people and, in essence, brought out people's better nature. Because Winter had previously suggested that Braeden, one of the most famous and iconic personalities in daytime history, was trying to find a way in his older age to come back in the spotlight for whatever reason, Braeden's return to the limelight was met with widespread surprise.